and we hadn't even cut to us yet. I said, how are you feeling? And he launched into it, Dec. Go on, you've got the Player of the Match trophy in your hands.
Yeah, back to back. Look, I think it's just such a special night for this club. It's a historic night for this club. We have an objective in this competition. We want to play the best teams and we want to win this competition. And there was a lot of talk coming here about them coming back because they've done it so many times before, but we had so much belief and confidence from that first leg that we had enough to come here and win the game, and not just win the game. We knew we was going to suffer, but we knew we was going to win. And yeah, we had it in our mind, and then we done it in real life. So yeah, what a night for the club.
Myles, come in here. I mean, what a season you've had, period. But how was your first experience of the Bernabeu?
It was incredible, honestly. When you see it on TV, it's a lot different to when you come live. So when I first walked out, it's a lot, you know, but just got to take in a moment and have fun, you know.
You are Champions League semi-finalists. This is the first time that Arsenal have done this since 2009. We've spoken about creating your own history, but what does that mean to you all?
It's massive, you know. I sensed it before I signed to the club that we was on an upward trajectory as a club, and you know, I felt it in the players we've got and the direction we want to go in. It's been tough in the Premier League because we lost out last year on a point. This year it slipped away from us, but in this competition we've done amazingly well, and this club's going to do special things over the next few years. We all fully believe it. We have full trust in this manager. He's unbelievable, and we've got players like him coming through, Ethan, other young lads who really want it as well. So we've got a real good mix, and look, like you said, semi-finals is massive for us, and we just want to take tonight in because we want to take it one step at a time. And now PSG next, who are an amazing team.
Well, let's face it, guys, it was never going to be a low-key evening tonight, was it, when you come and play here? Just talk us through some of the emotions in that first half, especially for you. Who wants to take this one?
Let him go.
Okay, Myles, come on.
Come on, boy.
Wait, can you say it one more time, please?
Just the emotions of that first half that you went through. It was never going to be a low-key game. Obviously, the penalty didn't quite go your way, and then, Dec, we'll get to you on what happens with Keown.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, the fans, they don't make it easy for us, but as a team, we know it's going to be like this when we came, so as long as we stuck together and, you know, keep backing each other through the highs and lows, we'll be fine.
5 minutes it took with that VAR check in that first half.
I knew it wasn't a penalty. Look, don't get me wrong, I had my arm on him, but you have to do that in the box. You have to try and stop him. Someone was going to let him go, but I knew it wasn't a pen. I'm an honest guy. I said to him straight away, and I said to Vasquez, it's not a pen, and I would admit, if I pulled him down, I would say, but he just fell to the floor, and it wasn't a pen, and I was fully confident it would get overturned, and we just had to stay calm. We was a bit naive again at times. We just had to control the game a little bit better. But in the end, we've got the job done, and it's, like I said, it's a historic night for the club, and yeah, honestly, I'm lost for words. It's just very special.
Very quickly, PSG.
Yeah, top team. Played them once already. We feel like they're a different team to back then. We've seen what they can do, but also we see what Villa done to them last night and caused them a lot of problems. So, look, we'll be working hard. We now have to go to Ipswich on Sunday, which is going to be a tough game because we want to secure that, keep going and keep winning matches in the Prem, and then also, like you said, focus on this competition.
Yeah, well, massive congratulations. Enjoy this one. Take it in. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's incredible. Do you know the last time Real Madrid were knocked out of the quarterfinals in the Champions League? They were beaten by Monaco 21 years ago in 2004. Myles Lewis-Skelly wasn't even born then. And this tells you a lot about this Arsenal team. They are a young side, led by a young manager who's learning on the job as well. How impressed are you with what Mikel Arteta has managed to achieve year on year with this club?
Yes, very impressed. I mean, they were excellent over 2 legs, but in the semi-finals, that's all they're in. You know, we want them to win, and once they win it, we'll eulogise about Mikel, about Declan, about everybody else. But they've done the hard part. They're in the semi-finals, got an equally difficult tie to come up. But you have to get over the line, Reshman. It's fine getting into the quarters, the semis. You have to go on and win it. But they deserve every credit for what they've done over these 2 legs. They beat Madrid, a poor Madrid, I thought, but they've beaten them and beaten them convincingly. So we'll wait and see, you know, what challenge PSG come and bring, because they're a different side to what they originally faced in the early on in the competition.
Yeah, very much so. But what impressed you most about the way that Arsenal dealt with this game?
I think it's the way that they managed it. I think we've watched them in the Champions League in previous years, and they've been naive, as Declan mentioned there, and they've been punished at times, and they kind of haven't turned up on when it's really counted and mattered. Here today, I think against the champions, and over the 2 legs, they bossed it. They absolutely bossed it, and Declan was at the forefront of that, I thought. But also equally, I would say Saka, in terms of defining and being decisive And we've talked about it, and I've debated it quite a lot over the years about is he world-class? Saka, 100% world-class footballer who will decide matches now for the rest of his career, I believe, at the top level, at the top table, alongside the best players. And I think he would have gone into this game, just like Declan Rice, and gone, right, on their team, they've got Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, that's against me. Oh, you've got Vinicius and Mbappe, Saka will be judging himself against those players. That's what happens. They've come out on top today. It's only one game over 2 games, I get that. But it's a chance to go, right, I'm at the top table today, and I've actually sat here comfortably and overshadowed the people that were meant to be better or considered better than me. Yeah. Right, let's start talking, where am I? I think it's a great confidence boost.
Do you know that the context we put it into, without a striker, Havertz injured, Jesus out, Saka, 101 days or so it was to get him back. He gets back just in time, just 2 weeks ago, and he's performing like this. It's incredible. But the team performance really stood out. The low block, the 2 wingers, and I think Martinelli and Saka deserve a big mention because with the tenure for Arteta, they really have stood up for him. And tonight it was fitting that they scored the 2 goals. But look, this is an Arsenal team. Some way to go. PSG next. Yeah, lovely. Let's bring it on. But they're a very healthy team at the moment. Yeah. So Arsenal will go again. They need to secure the Premier League. They want to do well in that to get back here again for next year. But this is a fantastic night.
Well, one thing I would say, I think, if you're going to say that, is there a team left in the competition equipped to deal with the PSG team in terms of their pace and their physicality, how direct they are? This Arsenal team, you'd say, are the 2 fullbacks, 1v1 are magnificent. They proved that again today. Defensively, they're sound as you like, and they've got people in centre midfield areas who can cover the ground. Declan Rice, the way he can transition. I
think phenomenal. A shout out for Keown as well, because everyone was looking at him as a weakness in the team. No, he stood up and he played exceptionally well tonight.
Remember, for the Arsenal fans, this team have really come of age, haven't they, Martin?
Yeah, I mean, you come here to a stadium of this type and you put out the performance. There was you could smell a bit of fear, maybe, from the fans, but the way the team performed, they look comfortable the whole night, just sitting in that block. As I say, the wide players, the way they work for the team, and then on that counter-attack. We talked about a counter-attack situation. Arsenal scoring a lot of goals in the Premier League in that situation. And the way they've managed the 2 ties, I think it's been a real step up from last season, Champions League. It's only their 2nd season in it. Bayern, in that first game last year, they didn't seem to know really how to attack their opponent. This time round, I think being 3-0 up and really going for it, set down a marker. And then tonight was about finishing the job off, and they looked really strong here tonight. Yeah,
they did, especially coming up, as you say. Bayern were a formidable opponent, and so too was Bukayo Saka, just pitch side actually. Just still celebrating with the Arsenal fans. Yeah, prolific opponent in Bayern Munich, prolific opponent in Real Madrid tonight. Let's take a look at Bukayo Saka. I mean, he's there, as I say, not speaking to us at the moment, but he missed the penalty, 13th minute. I think everyone's sort of scratching their heads a little bit as to why he took this approach, but it didn't deter him. That was in the 13th minute. In the second half, he came back and scored. That's redemption, and that's maturity for someone still so young. Yeah,
that's character. I mean, he knows his worth, he knows his value. It's a wonderful finish, by the way. The keeper's coming out, and he just thinks it's a great bit of football. And it's just, again, he goes in there. I mean, defensively, I think there's a lot to pick out. They make it so easy. Rudiger trying to step up, the right-back playing one side. But you can't discredit the finish. It's a wonderful run, gets in there, how calm he is. And again, the key point is, after such a miss with a penalty, to have the confidence to do this, I think tells you and signifies 100%. Where he is as a player.
Mentally very strong, isn't he?
Top.
And you have to be in a stadium like this.
Yeah.
But the fact that he missed the penalty, as you said, and came back to do that, and came back to influence the game, that's the most important thing. And it's great to see him back on the football field. He was off for a while, and he got his rewards today. Marino, 2 assists.
Yeah.
He's just in that little pocket, finds him. Really good ball that he plays there. But this man Saka, just honestly, he wasn't even around. Just 2 weeks ago, he comes back to the party just in time.
I spoke about him before, and we debated. I spoke about this before, debating like where he is in the grand scheme of things as a forward player. And my only thing that went against him was about playing on this stage. It was only because he hadn't done it.
Of course.
Where you go, well, can he? We don't know. He comes here over the 2 legs especially, but he's been doing it now this season.
You have to be successful to be classed in the annals of the people we've spoken about. You have to win, and you have to be a perennial winner, and you have to win this tournament, because the best teams win this tournament. So if you can perform like that in a quarter-final, brilliant. If you can do it in a semi-final and a final, because we'll be singing his name from the rooftops. But you have to give us something, because winning a quarter-final, unfortunately, I don't want to be a party pooper, the brilliance Arsenal have been, but it is only the quarter-final race. You know,
I agree
they've
with
been
you.
here before.
I agree with you, but at the same time, Mackie, you got to come here.
Huge
Yes,
stepping
you
stone
know
for
what
us.
that- Definitely.
You come in here, the
Definitely.
holders, and go into them. Listen, you lot sit in your spot. I'm going to take centre
Absolutely.
stage
But
today.
then you cannot lose to PSG.
Yeah.
You can't lose them. Otherwise, you've just got to the semi-finals and lost. We've all
It's the
been to
first time in-
quarter-finals.
it's
We've
the
all been
first
to
time in-
semi-finals.
First time in 20-odd years that this Real Madrid have gone out of a quarter-final.
Yeah.
It's a huge
There'll be massive
task.
repercussions here. Heads will roll here. You know,
What
you know
would it
that.
be like tomorrow for the likes of
I'll be-
Mbappe, Vinicius
Oh,
Junior, Jude Bellingham?
The newspapers will tear into them. The manager probably won't be here next year. You know, there'll be a plethora. The PR machine will jump into action tomorrow. We're signing this person, we're signing this person to get the fans back on side. But losing in the quarterfinals and losing the way they did, they were toothless today. They went down with a fight. Arsenal controlled them quite comfortably for 180 minutes last week and this week. No threat, no fear, no nothing this year. We thought that before the game, because Madrid are not playing well, but still Arsenal had to come and do it and show that they have the mettle and show how mentally strong they are to cope with this, and they've done it easily. So
They've
it was a
done it easily.
wonderful performance.
You know what? I think we've all been there in our careers where you go, there's a moment where you go, you know what, guys? That's the moment when I've had real belief. We all believe in our teams, but you need a moment in history where you go, it was there where it all clicked and fell into place. It feels like this tie over the 2 days could be that for this Arsenal team.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
And individually, I mean, Declan Rice, he's up against
Phenomenal.
Jude Bellingham. And
He's
it was
announced
there was
himself,
only
hasn't
one,
he now?
There was only one winner. Do you know, he was absolutely magnificent. And this is a player, you know, he's only started taking corners, you know, last Christmas. And then the 2 goals were massively significant, those 2 free kicks. But the way he played out there today, the interceptions into midfield, the tackles he makes, you know, and that key moment when the referee, gives a penalty and VAR, you know, because if that's given as a penalty, again, changes this game massively. And Declan was once again involved in that.
I think the difference with Declan, why I feel that he's hugely an elite player, is that in every facet of his game, he works at a high level. And I think that would have been a disservice to him if he had gone to a football club where they went, right, we're going to pigeonhole you and you're going to be this. Because I think he has far too much to do that. He can be the player that changes the rhythm of the game with a drive and a drop of the shoulder and run with the ball. He can play a pass, but he can be a defensive shield as well, which he showed today at different times. And that ability to do different parts of the game, I think, really does set him apart.
Yeah, well, I think this whole team have set themselves apart, certainly from this Real Madrid side, this prolific side, all those big players who really would have thought that they could have mounted this remontada, this comeback here at the Santiago Bernabeu, this mythical arena. It wasn't to be tonight because Arsenal were just too good and they were masterminded by this man, Mikel Arteta. What?
Paris Saint-Germain, you have already beaten this Champions League campaign. Now you're going to meet them in semi-finals. How different are the 2 teams from when you last met?
Yeah, much different. I see them playing with much more confidence. And yeah, we watched them again last night and they were top. So yeah, we'll be ready. It will be a big challenge, a very good match. But yeah, we'll be ready.
Can Arsenal win this?
Yeah, I like to believe that. And I think we can.
Has masterminded what we've seen over these last 2 legs. Mikel, in your reign as Arsenal boss, where does this one rank for you? 2 legs and you've beaten the holders, Real Madrid.
One of the best nights in my football career for sure, and a really special one. I mean, we played against the team with the biggest history. That has been an inspiration, I think, for all of us in this competition, and to be able to win the tie in the manner that we've done it, I think we have to be very proud of ourselves.
And that's it, it's the manner that you did it. You looked in control from start to finish against this Real Madrid side. And ordinarily at your ground, you did it. But here at the Bernabeu, with the noise, with the expectation, how proud are you of the way that the players conducted themselves?
I'm really proud because it's very difficult. It's my first time in that touchline, so I have no experience before to be in there. And after 2-3 minutes, you realize that anything can happen in this stadium. And I think you have to be there to realize that. And I got the feeling straight away, something goes wrong, they score a goal, game on, and anything can happen. Fortunately, a lot of things went for us, a part of Bukayo's missing the penalty, but I think overall we did what we had to do to win the game.
We were talking, I think, listen, in all of our careers, there were moments in our careers, our club careers, where you go, that was a big moment for us that really changed the dynamic and the belief in the squad. Could tonight, over these 2 legs, actually be part of that for you guys?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think
You
obviously
sense that feeling?
I have that feeling, and obviously the history we have in this competition is so short. It's the third time in our history that we've done what we just done. So we need to build on that, and we are really hungry. We want more. It's a really young team that is very determined, and all these experiences, including me for sure, is going to help us a lot to try to achieve something big.
Mikel, Maka was saying, of course, he's won this thing 2 times already. That it's only a quarter-final, by the way. But last year's quarter-final, we went out to Bayern Munich, and in that first leg, we didn't seem to know whether to attack or to sit. The game was 2-2, and this time round, you were so emphatic in that first game. How much have you learned? Are you learning in the Champions League through last season?
Are you questioning his tactics last year, are you? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a difficult situation when you have the first games at home.
It's a positive night.
Well, I think last season, I think we started the game really well against Bayern, but then we made 2 crucial mistakes that cost us the penalty and a really sloppy goal. And then, we started to doubt a little bit how to play the next game, and especially the second game against Bayern. I don't think it was good enough. Today, I think, and the game in London, we had a very different mindset. I think we had full belief that we could beat this team, that we could be better than that, that we could dominate them. But then you have to do it, and the players did it.
And the semi-final, you've already faced PSG, of course, this year, but they look a different team now. How much are you looking forward to that game?
Yeah, I watched the game last night. Another crazy game. So anything can happen in this competition. They are an incredible team. I know the manager really, really well. And let's enjoy tonight and let's start to think about that one soon.
And it must be special for you being an old team as well.
Yeah.
And the fact that you've already beaten them this year.
It is, and we have the experience of that. But as you said, I think they are a different team now. They are on an incredible run at the moment. But as well for us, so I think we showed tonight that we can compete against any team.
So on one of the individual players, and I know you'd like to talk as a collective more, but Declan Rice over the 2 legs I thought was absolutely outstanding, and the investment you guys have had him, it looks like a snip right now. Yeah,
I think tonight he was immense. I think he turned the game around. The moment that the game was 50-50, he got the ball, he turned the game. I think he was immense today. I think he made a difference in the time.
Lewis-Skelly has to be mentioned as well, by the way. I'm sorry. He can't. I'm looking
Saka.
at his passport. He's not 18.
And Timber.
He can't be 18.
And Timber. Yeah, I know. Yeah, for such a young boy, absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah, I've got to ask you. You talked about being on the touchline here, and you've with your Catalan roots and having played for Barcelona, you're probably not that liked here, but they quite like you at PSG. That's going to be a very different experience, isn't it?
It is going to be, obviously. I had a wonderful time there, but now the mindset is going to be to prepare well and go through. We want to be in that final. We're going to have to work so hard and do a lot of good things against that team, but we are certainly capable of doing it.
It's been an incredible night for you. Really huge congratulations from all of us, Mikel.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Take care.
I think he has to take huge credit. Like you said there, I think last season, I think he seems to be a manager who seems to be learning. He's had some difficulties in the Premier League this season. That's been consistent. But you see, you get to the big stage here, your players have to be adaptable and have the ability to learn from past mistakes, etc. But also in that dugout, you have to be able to do that. And like you said today, it's his first time there. It's quite an intimidating place to be, but he handled it so well.
Is this the mentality shift we see in this Arsenal side then? Because they've come close, haven't they? But they've fallen short in big games, whether that's in the Premier League and other competitions as well. This is where we saw a different Arsenal, would you say,
Well,
Martin?
I was reasonably happy last year. They won 14 out of the last 16 games. So I think the evidence was there. It was just obviously this is another level. You go to a new level at the Champions League, and each player's doing that. You can see Declan Rice developing, Timber coming back into the team, Saliba. It looked magnificent at times tonight. Okay, he makes the mistake for the goal, blots his copybook a little bit. But so many good performances, every player developing, growing, and the manager and his staff. They are really up for it. And this is a memorable night now for the Arsenal fans. I said that Arsenal make for a formidable opponent, and they certainly did tonight.
And they're learning on the job, aren't they? That's
they're
valuable,
learning, and they have
it?
to keep on progressing. It's as simple as that. They've beaten PSG already. We know PSG at a different side, but they have to go on and make this count. Make this count tonight.
It's only a quarter-final, though, Mac.
No, what is it? Miles, I hope they win it with the only English team left. I know that. But I hope they do it. But it's pointless just winning a quarter-final and getting knocked out. Great, we'll celebrate it. Great performance, but you have to bring home the silverware.